Canal Campground, Fisherman's Row, Site 21. Pretty deep, pretty level. Site 22. Also nice and wide. Site 23. Site 24. Site 25. Site 26. Site 27, they start to get a little bit closer together, but still wide, plenty of space. Site 28. Site 29, a little narrower and very close to 27. Site 30. Also a little narrower, very near 28. Site 31. Also wide. Site 32. Little narrow on the front end. Once you get in there, you've got plenty of space. Site 33. A little more spacious once you make the bend. Site 34. With a little bridge leading over to the bathhouse. And the last site in Fisherman's Row, Site 35. Another wide site and primitive across the woods. Now we're ready for the woods loop, sites 36 through 52. Most of these are all good size. Some are tight fits between trees, but other than that, pretty good. Here is 36, nice and wide. Only thing about 36 is you do have a dump station right out your back door. You've got two buddy sites, 37A, 37B. They share a common drive. They do have separate electric and water. .38. Nice and wide as well. .39 on the same side. You have to watch your sites. They're not numbered odd, even, odd to inside, even outside. They're just random. Depends on where the drive falls. This is 39. 39 is a pretty big site with a lot of space. 40, same thing, another big site. 61. Another big site. Lots of space. In here. Cross out this man's way. You got 42 really deep, slight decline, backing down. 43 is occupied, but it's a good site as well. Not going to film someone else's camper. 44, another deep site with a long drive, a little narrower than the rest. 45 is occupied, but another good one. As we make the bend, you get a little bit water views with some of these sites. Got 46 to my left. Another wide site, concrete around the edges. 47, a little bit smaller. 48, you've got a view of the water and stairs leading down toward the water. 49 is occupied. We'll skip that one, but it's got a big rig in it that's got plenty of space. 50, it's not real deep, but it does have a lot of space. 51. 51, got quite a bit of room. You got the water when the water levels up right off the back steps. And then the last site on the woods loop is 52, which is nice and wide, and right here near the road. And is the beach loop, sites 53 through 67. Majority of these sites do have a water view as well. And right as you enter the site, there is a bathhouse. Or enter the loop. 53, these over here are a little bit smaller, a little closer together than the other loops, but nonetheless, you've got water access. 53, 54, right next to the bathhouse. 54, and then you also have the playground right off the back side of 54. 55, another wide site. Pretty level. 56. 57, a little smaller site, not near as deep, not near as wide. So if you have multiple vehicles, there is a parking lot right next to the bathhouse. And 58, another wide site. It's got some asphalt leading up into it. 59, 59, right off of the back of 59 is the beach, which is water is very low right now. 60, one of the probably most popular sites on the beach loop, because once you back down and turn, you have water views in all directions and the beach right off the back. Next to it is 61. Not quite as deep, but is wide. Our way around the corner, 62, another site that has water access right off the back side. A little bit skinny though. See, 63 is occupied. Won't film 63. 64. Not very deep either. 65. A little bit narrow as well. 66 is up and to the left. A little skinny on the front end, but plenty of space on the back. And then 67. Nice and wide with water to the back. This is the hill loop, sites 68 to 83. When you first get up the hill, you've got a big parking lot. 68 is occupied, but it's a pretty cool site because it's up on a hill overlooking the water. The outer sites overlook the water. The inner sites, you can see the water, and some of the inner sites also have sewer. So 68 is occupied, so we'll start with 69. Decent wide site. The only downside of 69, you've got a concrete picnic table that is set in concrete, therefore you can't move it. But it does have sewer. 70s right beside it. Another wide site. These sites up here are not very deep, but they do have good wide space to them. So there is 70. Also on the inner loop is 71. '71 is a little bit deeper. It's got a slab in the corner for the picnic table, but it is movable. 73 is a little shorter site, but 73 does have a good view. It does have a concrete picnic table, but plenty of space. You got a guardrail that goes down, protects you from the water. 72, another inner loop, very similar to 68, 69 and 70. 74 back on the outer loop. Another site, not real deep, not real wide, but it does have a good view of the lake, along with 75. Making our way around the bend, we get lower, closer to the water. You've got 76. It's also kind of small, but most rigs will fit. '77, very similar. These next three do have some guardrails because they do have a drop off toward the water. A little bit narrow here. The serviceable. 78. '78's not bad. It's wider. It does face the sun in the evening without much shade. But you're right here by the water. '79. Another water view. You can see the beach area is right off of 79 as well. Water's pretty shallow this time of year, but normally in the summer it's up between 5.5, 6 feet on that white pole. You've got little extra parking right here at the beach. This is not a site, just a gravel drive. '80 is right here next to the beach. Right out the back door is the beach, so you do have water access. Plenty wide. '81 is back on the interior loop, which you're sitting up a little bit higher, so you've got a view of the beach area. Pretty wide, pretty deep. '82, back on the outside. Very similar to '80. You got beach right behind you. And then inside you have a view of the playground, and there's bathhouse just up the hill. And then the last site is '83. '83 is a little deeper and wider, and just like '81, you're setting up a little higher. You can see the water as well. This area is called Nash Flats, sites 103 to 110. Everything down here is asphalt. The sites are concrete, and at the end you've got a big pavilion along with a dock. So we start over here on the left. You got site 103. The only thing that I don't like, me personally, about these sites is the direction your your camper faces puts the fire pit and picnic areas on the back side. So unless you run your hose or power cord under, then it's kind of difficult. But they are plenty big. 104. And you've got a divider or separator to 105. And 106 is the last site on the left side. Another thing is these are primarily in the sun most of the day, which means in July and August can be miserable. So here we have the pavilion, the picnic tables, and the boat dock. Got some kids in the water. Too cold for me. And the dock is handicap accessible, as we have a ramp that travels down and around, so it does have wheelchair access. Site 107, it is shaded this time of day because it's on the opposite side and next to all these trees. 108. '109. And our last one is 110. From what I've seen down in this area, a lot of people that camp down here come in groups. So they'll have 3 or 4 together. And those are the flats. Last section is Browns Point, sites 85 through 98. Some of these are pretty cool too because they overlook the lake in all directions and have sewer. Another thing about this loop is it has very close bathhouse to each site. So this first site is 85. Plenty wide, a lot of space. Everything on the right side of this loop overlooks the flats. 86 is a pull-through site, so you've got a lot of space there. You do have a lot of shade on 86, where you got pine trees and stuff surrounding you. 87 is another pull-through site, all gravel. Pretty shady area. It does overlook the flat, so like I said, if they're out behind their camper using their fire pit, you're looking right down into their campsite. '88 is kind of tight. You got to back in at an angle, and you're also kind of staring right into the pull through on 87. 89, straight in sight, pretty wide, but these are a little bit closer together on this side. 90, very similar. And then 91. And you also have good views of the lake. Making our way around 92. I believe 92 begins the sewer sites. It is occupied, but 92 probably has the clearest view of water in all directions as far as this loop goes. So you've got your bathhouse right here, and so you can see the sites I've already passed. It's really, really close to all those. 93, got a long, deep drive. It's kind of skinny compared to some others, but you do have water view right off the backside of it. 94 and 95 share a drive, and then as you get deeper, it splits. But those two sites are also pretty close together. 97, not very deep, but you do have lookout, water look. You got the Barkley Dam right across the way, and you can see that pretty good from 97, 96, 97, 98. All have good views. So this is 97. They're just a little bit narrow. And then 98 is the last site in this loop. So it's a little bit narrow. If you got more than one vehicle, probably not gonna be able to get it in there. You're gonna have to park across at the bathhouse or down in the area where they launch boats. They got a big parking lot down here. So you can see the parking lot is not much to it, but there's also bathhouse very, very close. So as we leave this site, we'll go to the boat ramp, which is just off and down to the right. And then there's a big parking lot, and then there's the last site, which is 84, which belongs to no loop. It's just isolated, all by its lonesome. down here by the parking lot. That's typically where everybody parks their trailers and golf carts and vehicles if their site is not very big. So we'll take a shortcut through the grass. There's another boat dock, and then you've got a boat ramp leading right out into the water. And here's a huge parking lot, very deep spots, accommodate your boat trailers, pickup trucks, golf cart trailers, whatever you got, jet skis. I've seen a little bit of everything parked down here. Sometimes campers will come park their camper down here when they get here too early and their site is still occupied. The site in front of us is 84. And I don't know the story behind 84, but it is down here in the gravel, wide open, pretty much at the end of the parking lot, but it belongs to No Loop. It is by itself. And here is site 84. So you got a lot of gravel, you got a lot of space. Probably can pull through that, just make a loop it through the gravel. Not have to worry about backing in. All right, we got Canal Loop sites 111 through 117. This area is actually pretty cool because it faces the canal, which connects Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley. And there is always constant boat traffic, sometimes all hours of the night. But 111 is right here in the wide open, no shade whatsoever. But it is an asphalt site. (112) very similar. And making our way around the curve, you can see the canal. Not real wide, but there's always boats, jet skis, a little bit of everything. Making our way around the corner, I think 113, which is occupied, 113, 114, 115, 116, I believe all are pull-through sites that are on asphalt, so no backing up. I'm not going to show 113, it is occupied, but 114 is basically the same site, just moved over a little bit. More views of the canal. So there's 114. So you got to pull through with gravel out to the side for your fire pit and picnic table. (115) also a pull through, which looks like it's going to be occupied real soon, but it's another asphalt pull through. This site, this loop, only has a few sites because they are a little bit more spread out than the other areas of the campground. 116, another pull through. Not as good of views here as you got trees in the way. And then the last site, 117, is deep and wide, but it is not a pull through. The only downside I've had staying over in this site, or this loop, is there's not a whole lot of shade most of the day. So there's 117. So you've got some gravel behind for tents or extra parking, whatever. The Woods Loop, Fisherman's Row, the beach, most of those are pretty much full shade all the time.